Hi Leo, how you doing? So we're here to do your March tarot reading. So at the beginning we look into the moment before, okay, and see how things have been going on and what could have happened, and then it gives me more of a chance to see of a pattern that's actually been forming through the moment before. And then when we look into the moment after for your March reading, that gives me a chance to take a deeper look into a pattern and a cycle that could well be happening within any kind of dynamic that could happen in your life or been happening. Okay, so we go through that. Also, for people that are Patreon members, or if you want to become a Patreon member, it's actually gone down now to $5. So if you want a Patreon membership, you can join month by month by month, but it's gone from $16 down to $5. Now I'm trying to give everybody a chance to watch extended readings, and it also really does support me. Without the patrons, I can't continue on, so I'm trying to build up more of a rapport to make it a lot cheaper. So that's one of the reasons why I've done that. And you also get meditation music and different music stuff that I'm learning, studying, goes over there at some point. So if you want an MP3 or things like that throughout the year, they will be added there too. Okay, and also teaching segments that I will add that was on tier 2. They will also go all on to one tier. One tier. I'm also hearing one tier of a cake, or one tier, or someone like a frontier of like a final frontier, but fronting, trying to confront something, trying to confront fear. Thank you. So trying to confront fear of something that you know that you probably have to do or say, but it's about confronting your worst, oh, they just said worst nightmare of something. Nightmare. So I'm also picking up that you could have been having nightmares about something. I'm also hearing like a tear, like a torn ligament, okay? Like a tear, but they keep saying like a tear, something to do with like a wedding cake or a tear. There might be a future prediction of marriage, because they keep saying tear, like a tear. Or Tia, the name Tia, or Maya. Well, we're coming out with some strange stuff. Hold on a second, Leo. Yeah, they keep saying something about confronting your fear, though. Something that could be upsetting, maybe, to know that you have to do something. I'm not sure where that's coming from, Leo. But anyway, let's look into the moment before. It's the moment before. Show me the moment before for Leo. The moment before for Leo. Okay, so you had exactly the same card that just came out for Libra. Libra. Okay, I'm sure it was. There's a mother here, right? Okay, so these can get very personal. So you know me as a reader, hopefully by now, but these can get very personal, so keep an open mind. But there's a mother here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius as well, that's all seems very concerned about something. There's like a lot of concern. Like I need to know, I needed to know, and there seems to be like a concern where someone is kind of like, well, there's this offer for me to be throned for something, like, but I think someone got like dethroned in a certain manner. Like I feel dethroned, or just no, they keep saying concerned. Like I seem to be very concerned. I seem to be very concerned at the moment. But I think it's coming. Okay, so it could be a mum. You could have a mother that has Virgo in their chart, or Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm really not feeling your love life at the moment. Okay, there's a lot of searching, but there's a lot of answers, you see. That's exactly what I was picking up. A lot of answers that someone wants to know, and it feels like, well, I want to know answers. 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 And it seems to be bringing someone down. It feels like, well, you just put me down. It feels like, well, you're always concerned. See, this mother here could be concerned about their children, okay, is what I'm picking up. And there seems to always be concerned about either you, or you could be a mum being concerned, but there seems to be like a concern, and it brings somebody down. It's like, why do you put me down when I ask you a question? Why is it that you put me down? And it's like, well, I'm thinking about my children. It's like, well, where am I in the relationship then? Or where am I compared to your mum or your children? Because there seems to be like a compare, like a compatible pair that I'm feeling, but it's kind of like, well, nothing compares to you. It's like, I'm so dedicated to you. There's a lot of dedication as well as love life that's coming through channeled. Is that I'm so dedicated to you, I'm so dedicated to you, I'm so dedicated to you. But there are also parents and people that are wondering about their relationships within their family dynamics. It's saying, oh, well, nothing compares to you. And it's like, well, where am I in the relationship compared to your mum? Or where am I compared to your children that you have, if you have children? Okay, so if you don't have children, this is coming across as a mum. Okay, But keep in mind that when pages and stuff start to appear, they can be children, okay? Now that can be something that goes on with children, because I've noticed that through readings just lately. Sorry, it's very early, Leo, but I've got so many readings to get through. So show me what happened with Leo. But we go through every single message that I can give. So there you are. Well, there's a lot of Aries as well. Aries, Leo. You see, this is why I always pick up Leo as the king, because there is a lion there. Okay, so there's a lot of like strength and determination that someone. Oh. Okay, I was picking up a termination for something, like or determining some, like concern. I keep feeling like a concern. You've kind of got like counterparts ish. It's like this is the counterpart of someone's family member. Okay, and your counterpart is obviously your love life, is what I'm hearing. But there seems to be like two Leos and two lots of air I'm picking up. But someone seems to be very concerned when they put somebody down, okay? And it's like, oh, don't put me down. I'm trying to be built up, and I'm like, oh, I need to try and engage in my own energy level. And then when I am, it's like you put me down, or it feels like you're being put down or put out. It feels like someone's being put out. Like, well, why are you shoving me out? I'm really picking this up as like a family thing, Leo, at the moment. Okay, but like, why do you always feel like you're shutting me out or pushing me out, pushing? I'm also hearing like a pregnancy of like pushing. That's only if you know that one though. But like, I think it's speech. To be honest, I think it is speech. I think it's like I'm trying to say something, but I can't, like, because there's a quiet and a loud, okay? There's like, am I allowed to speak? But there's kind of like, I'm quiet, but I'm trying to speak. And it's like, well, I can't overpower this queen here. I can't hear. I'm picking up that someone also is physically hard of hearing, okay? Now, for the people, if you're not relating to anybody being hard of hearing, this is someone I feel is like very softly spoken, and this person here is very like can be very demanding, and it's like, well, I need to know answers, and it's like, well, I can't, I need you to hear me, and it's like, I'm not listening. Okay, there's that there, but I think that's a parent dynamic. But also, if that is relating to love life, I think someone speaks very softly, and then someone speaks very like, what? Like, you know, kind of like, what? What did you say? It's like, can you speak up? And then it's like, all of a sudden, it's like, rah, right? I've found my strength. It's like I'm using it, because I keep feeling like backbone, like a back pain as well, or like a backbone. It's like, you are my backbone. But if I am a Leo that has Virgo in my chart, okay, we have both had to face this situation, because the Queen can be very, 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 it depends, cross-watchers will always see it differently, but if you've got a dynamic with the Queen can be very harsh at times, a lot of times, okay, so there's a lot of harshness, and we have to stand here, both of us, against this Queen. There seems to be like a for and against. Okay, yeah, wow, Ten of Pentacles. So there was a lot of concern about money. I'm picking it up that it's one of these characters, but because it's coming from a concerning energy, I'm very concerned about money. I'm very concerned about my job. I'm very concerned about how much money you have. Like, how much money have you got? How much money have you got, Leo? Or how much money has this person got? It's like, well, I'll do this for you, or I will buy the shopping. There's someone that's very like giving, okay, in the relationship. I know the Ten of Pentacles means getting paid. You could well have got paid, okay, but looking at it as relationship wise, it feels like someone's so concerned about money, but someone also takes a lot of money. You see, there's a lot of like, well, because this can be someone that owns the house, like a mum, is like, well, I want to know how much money you've got first, right? I want to know how much money, like how much to invest in the relationship, but it depends on your bank account, right? But we'll see. Show me what's been going on with Leo. But this really does help me when we go into your March reading. Show me what's been going on with Leo for the moment before. Okay, so 9 of Cups. It's like, well, I'm filling. Someone's getting their fill. Someone's getting their or the name Bill. Okay, but I'm picking up like bills are filling up, bills are piling up. It feels like someone always is concerned about. I'm picking up Bill and then Phil. It's like, or the name Phil. Phil, you right, Phil? But like Phil, it's like Phil. I'm picking up Philippines, the Philippines, or Phyllis, the name Phyllis, or the Philippines. Okay, so I'm getting my emotional fulfillment because you're helping support the family and you're helping support the business. I am a great support, but I am also an emotional need. But who I don't know where that need's coming from. But there's an emotional need to keep this replenished, meaning like the feelings are there and the emotions are there, but the money's there, and there's also a very concerned energy a lot about money. So it means like, well, I'm getting what I want, which is like I've got you in the relationship, but we've also got other people that are appearing through here because you've got kings and queens. Okay, so these like mothers and fathers. So right in between this Virgo that is looking right at this Queen of Swords, it's like, well, I'm looking for answers. It's like, well, I don't want to tell you all my answers. I just want to keep quiet about this, whatever it is that's going on in my life, Virgo energy. Okay, I don't want to say, I don't want to speak. I just want to like be left alone. Okay, it feels like I just want to be left alone. Please don't ask me these questions. It feels like someone asks personal questions to a Virgo energy as if to say, I don't want to tell you these answers. It's like, well, no, 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 I need you to tell me. It's like, oh, no. I'm picking this up as you as Leo that has Virgo in your chart. Okay? And it's like, well, because there's a demand, like I keep picking up like a demanding energy around you that constantly wants to know stuff when it makes you feel down. Again, it's like, don't put me down. It's like, I'm trying to be heard. It's like, well, I can't be heard if you're speaking. Right? I can't be heard if you're speaking. That's what they keep saying. But again, Leo, please keep an open mind when I start to give verbal speech of what I hear of conversations that could go on or been going on. But it definitely feels like someone speaks very softly and someone speaks very loudly. Okay? And it feels, I don't know why, but I'm picking up that someone does physically have like something wrong with their ears. Okay? Keep an open mind, but physically have something wrong with their ears. And that's why I was picking up on tears. Because it feels like it's coming from the tear duct or it's coming from the ears. And it feels like someone speaks very loudly to get through to a energy because they can't physically hear. And it's like, well, I what on earth is going on through this reading? I'm definitely getting that one. Something to do with someone's hearing. And it's like, yeah, but you speak too loud. It's like, yeah, but you speak too softly. And it's like, well, how can I speak softly if you can't hear me anyway? So I'm going to have to speak louder. And it's like, yeah, but you're making me feel put out because I can't hear you. And then it's like, well, I can hear what you're saying. I can feel what you're saying, which is that I love you and that I want to be with you and that I'm here, but I can't always hear what you're saying. I can't always hear what you're saying. I think the communication is there between you and your partner, but I think someone gets very, very confused and feeling alone because someone won't accept something. Because it feels to hear when you look at this card, it's like, well, I've not got it on my head yet. So it feels like I don't know whether to accept it or not. It's like I can't seem to be accepted by you in a certain way. Some of you, this is coming across as a family member that you live with, if you live with your partner and parents and grandparents. But there's a lot of, a lot of energy that's around this reading so far that's saying that I'm like feel lonely without you, but I'm there physically with you, but I can't. It's like, you know that film, okay, this is not racist in any way, but the white men can't jump. Okay, and you know in that film when he used to say about music, and he used to say, what was that really good phrase that he used to say, that you can hear it but you just can't listen. You can listen, you're listening, but you just can't hear. You can't hear Bobby or whatever, right? I'm also hearing a Bobby, Bob or a bob, something to do with the hair and a bob, cutting it in a bob or something like that, or the name Bob. Or builder, something kind of like building, some kind of like building. A house is very important to someone. Someone's building and someone's house, and the construction. I'm also hearing like a construction worker, that someone works on. That's sorry, some of you. That's where this hearing's come from. Is the they're also saying, oh, wow, sorry, loads of messages just took a dump on my brain. A hearing at court, also a hearing through a drill, like a drill sergeant. It's a bit like a pneumatic drill. Because that's for someone that works on construction. And when they do that, they come home and they got this tinnitus ringing in their ear and they're like, what? Dave! Right, but I can't hear you. It's something to do with this pneumatic drill and construction worker. Okay, through that message, they also said something about a court hearing, where for some of you are having to go to court, and it's a court hearing. Okay, it's a court hearing, like adjourned, court's adjourned. Something got adjourned. Also a journal that's being taken down for minutes, okay? They're saying like secretary, some kind of like secretary. Someone works at like doing things for a secretary and they're filling things in and they're kind of like got this going on at work kind of feeling. Like there's this, a lot of commotion going on around the business at the moment. A lot of tables and things all being moved around is what I'm hearing. Or if not, there's like a lot of general public where there's a lot of noise and there's so much like static and noise, and it's like I just got at the moment when I'm at work I can't even hear myself think, Steve. And then when I come home I come and I have to give answers to this person that I don't want to talk to. That's kind of what I'm picking up, Leo, through this reading, is that both of you for a relationship, okay, that when you come home from work, I always say and have done for many years that karma's very catching, okay. And it spreads from all the people that you talk to and intervene with at work. And then when you come home, you can be extremely stressed out and you can push it onto your partner. Okay. And there seems to be a lot of that. There seems to be a lot of like mismatched energy through work and money. Okay. And that when you collide, sometimes you have to come home. Well, that was so like British from where I come from. From when you come home. From when you come home, dear, but when you come home, sorry, I'm having a laugh. I don't know why, but you come home and you have to answer to this person. And it feels like, oh, why have I got to answer to you? I just want to be left alone. I need to get home and chill out from work. Sorry, but I actually spat out my cards when I was laughing. That is so bad for YouTube. But it feels like, you know, when I come home, I have to, like, it feels like a peacemaker. I'm also hearing like a pacemaker of someone's heart. Okay, this is surgeon, like surgical, because this can be surgical, because in different decks this person has a shank, right? In the back alley, as Sal says, when I used to watch Sal. But, yeah, there's a lot of, like, you know, surgical, like doctors and lawyers and solicitors, they're saying. Doctors, lawyers, solicitors, or Laura, Laura, right? But something to do with that. Oh, don't you know the people that watch, right? But something to do with like, there's a lot of missed energy, and there's a lot of like, these can be like brothers and sisters and things like that, but there's a lot of mismatched energy. Right, and it's like this person can be loyal, but can also be very lost in oil. They're saying something to do with oil and a company of oil as well, like oil, lost in oils. Or they're also saying like a will as well, like a will, but lost in this bill or something. But lost in there's like a bill, like you know, people. Well, I was channeling some strange messages, Leo. How long have you got? But you know that when people that do law degrees and stuff like that, law degrees, and they put in, well, not a law degree, but they put in a bill as if to see how it's going to go through the, like, president and all that sort of stuff. You know, they put in a bill or whatever that is. But it feels something to do with that, like journalism or something, like journalism or secretarial defence or some kid. They said some kid, sunkissed, or sunk. Someone sunk someone's battleship. But you sunk my battleship. When I heard this news, it made me sink. Or something to do with someone sink. Whoa. Try and be out there listening to all of this. So if they do relate, please make sure you let me know so I don't feel like I'm going mad. Right? But it feels like someone in your energy drives you nuts, Leo. They drive you mad. And it feels like when I come home, I have to answer questions to or from this person. And they ask quite a lot of stuff. And it's like, oh, where have you been? Where are you going? What have you said? What have you done? What have you done at work? Where have you, you know? And you're like, oh my, I just got home from work, bruv. I don't really want to have a discussion. I've just got home from all of these people, and by the time I get home, I've got to answer to you. This is like someone having to answer to a mum. This is what I was saying. This is what's coming through. So it can be your kids or something, or someone that you're looking after. But it feels like, oh, listen, I'm not your. Someone is definitely saying, listen, I've got my own life. Okay, and I don't need you to intervene in it. Okay, these can get very personal, but I don't need you to intervene in my life, and I don't need you to ask me certain questions when I've just got home from work, and that what I'm really concentrated on is my relationship, and I don't need you to answer questions, and I don't need to answer to you. There's a lot of that, you see. I don't need to answer to you, so don't ask me personal questions when I don't feel like it. Now, if you haven't said that, there's a feeling around that you possibly want to say that to somebody, okay? But please listen. It's like, no, I've not got time to speak. I don't want to. I want to get home. I want to shut the door, shut the curtains, put on the TV, and just isolate myself a little, okay? But you've got yourselves, or it could be Aries, a lot of it, but there's that mixture of fire and air and oil. It's kind of like, well, we need to try and make a mixture of something. It's like, so what do? Put everything in a blender or brender and then start to make a cocktail, and then what do? It's like, well, I'm stuck here with you, so we need to learn to coexist and live with our parents, or we need to learn to live with one another. There's a lot of like family stuff where it's like a lot of coexisting of people going through karmic patterns and have been for quite a while, and it's like we just live and we just coexist and we just like pay the rent and we pay the bills, and everything just seems to be going on as what life does. Everything seems to be going across tickety-boo, but I get my fill, so I get what I need from this relationship, and I also get what I need from you. You give me what I need, and I give you what you need. Is a kind of that, because these can come across as needy energies. Okay, 9 of Cups in different decks, but it's a lot to do with like, well, I'm getting my fill and I'm getting my need, so my needs met. So a lot of it is that you're content. There seems to be a lot of contentment, but a lot of this can be where someone is denying their true feelings from somebody, and it can be very difficult to get through to them when you feel down, low vibration. You come back for your fill. There seems to be a lot of filling my energy, like levels. My cups are being filled because I'm emotionally satisfied, but not quite. Not for some of you. It feels like I'm wandering a lot, and I get my fill and I get my need, but it's not like a physical relationship. That's for some of you that are not in one. If you're not in it, and this is like, well, you know, at least what we have is a dating scenario, and what we really have is getting both our needs met, where we're just seeing each other, but we don't physically like live with one another. But for the people that are in relationships, it seems to be the same kind of thing, that you're just coexisting and learning to live. But a lot of this is because you're living with also other people, which would be families and stuff, right? But trust me, these days, it can be very difficult to be independent and start on oneself by the prices of mortgages and everything else. You know, they are extreme. Well, in the UK, they are, you know. For a 2-bedroom flat, I'll give you this one. In the UK, for a 2-bedroom flat, or 1-bedroom flat with very modical, just nothing really, about £650 a month just for the rent. And £650 for like 1 bedroom, maybe 2, small bedroom flat in the UK is like 650 quid per calendar month. That's just rent. So that's how difficult that is. And a lot of people within tarot, they can say, oh, I want to be independent and blah, blah, blah. A lot of people, they get support from their parents. They really do. Because even if you're married, you can get support by someone that has a really good job. Okay, but then when you have kids, your kids look after blah, blah, blah. And you have a chain in a cycle, you see. And it's the same thing. And there's a lot of this here, that parents and people that have the right amount of home life, okay, the right amount of stuff at home, that people are thinking, well, you know, why do we need to be independent, and why is it that we physically need to start like a mortgage when we'll end up being broke? It's because it's like there's some kind of like mortgage broker as what I'm hearing for work and things like mortgage broker, but also like I'm hearing like this. Why do we need to be broke when we've got everything that we need and we're getting our fill? So we're all kind of like coexisting together and living together. But why is it that we need to like move on our own and physically like start bills by ourselves and make things extremely difficult when I'm kind of like, it's either a dating scenario or we're living together and we're getting what we need at the parents? Okay, there's a lot of that too, right? So I'm not like a I can't just read a 10 of Pentacles like, hey, cha-ching, you're getting paid. So we go off spirit messages. So one more card. But when this really does get interesting is when we go on to your March reading, okay? But this does just give you a brief interlude of what kind of reader I kind of like am as well. One more card, please, for Leo. Thank you. So, I have the power. Some kind of like, you see, it is involving brothers and sisters and children, right? But it can be a lot of childish communication as well, you know, but it isn't childish communication because the page literally doesn't send a message. It thinks about one, right? It does. A lot of people say they're spying if you're watching tarot, right? But this message doesn't get delivered, right? So there's some kind of like, well, I'm getting my fill, so let's just not tell this person also. So how this is coming through for a lot of you, Leo, right, is like I said, these are thoughts and feelings that is either one, you, or if you've got kids, this is what your kids are going through, right? And this is what they're thinking and feeling and going through you with your soul contracts of people that you know, right? So what they're thinking at the same time as possibly you is that you're going through that situation. And that the kids or people are talking about that exact same scenario. Is that how do we learn to coexist with one another? Because what we are actually doing secretly here is getting everything that we want and everything that we need. Now, there can be conversations that are going on between someone, but what this message is not being delivered to is this person here, the Queen of Swords. These people are trying to avoid telling this person because they know that this person can get very I don't know if I'm not going to start treading dangerous sharky grounds with somebody that's a mum. Right? But they're trying to avoid to tell this person amount of information. This person depends, you know. Because it feels like these children, compared to their contract, get put down and put out by this person. As where this person, as a cross-watcher, would always see it differently. True, that's your karma, right? Would see it the other way around. That's opposites attract. That's your karmic situation that you have there with your dynamic, that you would learn so much more about relationships if people would start to really look at their contracts. Your contracts are what goes on in your life. That's what gives you the most amount of growth. That's why I do complete personalized readings for family, money, love, and all of it, okay? They show you the most amount, okay? So always look to your soul group of people. But because we're all soulmates, you know, we mirror each other through society, through reflection, okay? Psychology and all that kind of stuff, you know, we mimic people. And there seems to be like a lot of mimicking, where there's a lot of, because I'm hearing like lyricking or something to do with Laura again, okay? Oh, I wish you two would just speak. But Laura, right? So there is a lot to do. How did retrograde treat you anyway? Sorry, this is a personal. How did retrograde happen? When retrograde just seems to put people in front of your eyes you haven't seen for a long time, and you're like, oh, I haven't seen you for a long time. Why is that? Well, it happens to be retrograde. That seems to be a soul contract lesson, friends. You can never fool a medium. But sorry, that's a personal thing. But these people, you see, they're talking to one another, but they're not actually saying anything. And what they're not saying it to is this situation that goes on with the mother, okay? They're hiding it because they don't want it, because they always feel put down or put out or shunned in or shunned out some kind of way. It's like shut in, shut out, like shutters, something to do with shutters or chatters. The name chatters, something like that. I think someone is also likes to talk a lot, and someone's like, shh. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Let's see. So we only start off just with a very few cards, okay? But that is the moment before. So what we start to look at now is your March reading, but very few cards, because I'm really trying to get people to come over to Patron to help support the channel so I can continue. Okay, and like I said, guys, it literally is $5 for a whole month, and then you can decide if you want to continue or, you know. So show me March for Leo. Wow. You see, this is how we compare to you. Nothing compares to my family. Nothing compares. So somebody out there is saying, listen, nothing compares to my family. I am all about family, family, family. Family, you see? Family. I'm all about my family. I'm all about my kids. Siri, no.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
No thanks. But a lot to do with, you see, family, family, family. I'm all about my family. I'm all about my kids. I'm all about my kids. Now, as a mum, someone generally would see that. But, you know, do the kids. That's the way it is. It's, you know, it's just the way it's coming out. It's a lot to do with, no, I'm all about my family, I'm all about my family, I'm all about my family. And someone gets lost in this connection of the translation of what it is taking for someone to be a mother. But ask yourselves, how old are the children, right? Because I've said things before in the past, and like, oh, what do you mean about my children? It's like, well, how old are they? You know, the teenagers are older than this, you know. But there's a lot to do with, I'll put it this way: some of it feels a bit like teenage rampage. Oh, it's a that was a T-Rex song, right? Teenage Rampage, but teenage adolescence, analyst. I keep picking up analyst or Annalise or Annie or nanny. I'm a nanny. I am a nanny. Something to do with a nanny. This could be someone that has, like, you've had kids with your person and they're a nanny now. Something to do with that, right? But the star, you see, this Virgo energy could have Leo, or it could be you, Leo, Virgo, Aquarius in their chart, or Aries. But fire sign, Virgo, Aquarius, all in my chart, and all here for family, for relationship. This is my dream. This is my dream lover. Come my way, dream lover. Right? I have a lot of dreams, but your mum also could have these in her chart. Virgo, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay? That could be a mother there, and they could have that in their chart. Okay? And then we have this scenario that seems to be breaking off here. But there's a lot of soulmate energy, a lot of lessons around karma still to do with parenting, coexisting. There's a lot to do with healing. Doreen Virtues entered the building again, and this is healing family cycles. Healing family cycles, something to do with the cycle of life and learning to coexist and live with one another in this dynamic. This is your dream person. This is your written path for now, or the written path forever. But it feels like, you know, this is all, well, it's all up in the air. It's all up in the air. Something is definitely to do with an air sign. And it's all up in the air. It's all to do with the decisions of what this queen makes. Okay? Because it feels a bit like, here we are, born to be kings. We're the princes of the universe. The princes of the universe. Queen, right? One more card, please. Wow. Y'all got some stuff going on. You got the Hierophant, the marriage, the commitment. This is the one that you're in. You've now gone on to the commitments. The commitments. How I am legally bound to this person because I love them, because we are, one, either married, or two, we have a very strong relationship. Here, we've got Taurus energy as well. Okay. But things that make you go, are things that go on at work, okay, which is 5, which is a ruminating thought at things that go on at work. So it's saying, look at your energy, at what it's like when you're at work, and what all of this is about is that when you're at work and you come home, how do you feel and engage on your energy that you compare it against your counterpart of soulmate? Because you start to reflect mirrors of energy that is pushed onto one another through stress and strain of work. Okay? Relationship. Welcome to the world of relationships. Right? Coexisting, living. So look at your work. There's a lot of things that are going on around your work situations. Okay? A lot of this for someone is hard work and dedication. But for somebody out there, it's hard work to get this person to listen, right? That's what somebody out there is saying, is that it's very difficult for me to get you to listen. And it's like, well, I've told you. And it's like, well, no, I need to know an answer. Again, what we said through. It's like, well, what do you want to know? I've already told you. Oh, well, I want a relationship. You're my soulmate. There's for people that are probably going through a dynamic of someone that won't accept their feelings. Okay, if someone is accepting their feelings, then it's kind of the same. Just look at your work scenario of what it's like being in a relationship. Okay, because there could be physical questions that someone has lined up. This is lining up everything. Okay, and it's all been lined up in someone's energy, and you are my wish and you are my dream. Okay, and it's all been lined up, ready for someone to say. What are they going to say? What are they going to say? Well, we'll see when we get through here. But what are they going to say? Because they could be saying something about marriage for a lot of you, or a strong commitment or an engagement. Okay? Or there's a big, strong work ethic as well of what I'm seeing through someone to really try and save their money. Save, like I need to save. Save is good. You know, never live above your means. Always live below it, even if you can afford it. That's how you save, you know. But welcome to also Pisces. Welcome to February for Pisces. Has been extremely difficult. Wow, I've had a hell of a February. But now I head to Pisces retrograde. All right. But anyway, we're going to go on with the rest of your reading. I've spoken for 40 minutes. Well, so as the cards start to line up, we go through your March, and then we clarify some cards to see exactly what the deeper meaning is of what happens right up until the end of your March. Okay, so if you want a personal reading, or if you want to join Patreon, you can. It's in the Show More section. It's literally just $5. You have extended readings and everything. All just goes straight to Patreon. Okay, I really would appreciate your support. Any like, share, and comment. would greatly be appreciated. Also, if you would like a personal reading, you can reach out in the Show More section as well and find the email. Send me an email and I can hook you up with a personal reading, okay, or Skype call. It's either, but everything is below, as well as every other single multimedia site that I run on Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. All of those links are below, okay? All right, guys, thanks very much. Let's see what's going to happen.